21 inches, 4 pound, 11 ounces. Let's let her go. It's early, it's cold. That was the first really hard frost we've had. Driving up to Susquehanna. Got one more day just to fish before the native watercraft, what do they call it, the Big Bass Power Hour. It's a tournament where every hour the biggest fish gets $1,000, and then the no limit thing is basically every fish above 14 inches is scoreable. So different format. I'll do that in 2 days, but today I'm fishing, and I think they're letting some water out of the Faber Dam, so should have better flow than I've had the last several times up here, where it's just been skinny, bony, no water. Be good to get a little bit of more clearance in that river moving around. So it's pretty normal for me to go to bed the night before coming up here, or even getting in the truck and making it most of the way up into Pennsylvania, and not really have a decision on where on the Susquehanna I'm going to fish. That was the case today. I just kept going north. I just crossed the Clark's Ferry Bridge, and it's still super low and bony. But I know as I get further north towards towards Sunbury, towards the Faber Dam, from looking at the gauge, I can tell that it's on a slow rise, and there's just going to be more water there, and that's where I want to be. I have done enough of grinding and banging around in without enough water. I kind of want to hit the easy button and just, hey, let's go to where I'm not going to be, have my motor clanging on the bottom, spooking fish everywhere I go. So that's the plan. I'm gonna fish up this way for the tournament in 2 days. Not necessarily where I'm gonna be today, although I might choose it. I'm gonna fish the Faber Dam. I've fished it one other time with Dave Thompson, and Dave and I went up there in the summer, and I actually remember getting a treble hook in my thumb, and he helped me out with getting that hook out, and it was interesting. But you know, I feel like the extra water coming out of that Faber Dam is just going to make for a funner day of fishing than if I stayed further down away from it, where a lot of that push of water hasn't permeated and spread out. I want the extra flow. I want the extra depth for sure. All right, so it appears that the Faber Dam is already fully down. So the graphic that you saw of the gauge on a previous video, I think that was it. They did it in a series of good spikes over, 2-3 days. And I think Josh and Timmy and Nick, all those guys caught it. And it's kind of over. It's a bummer. But there is a little bit more flow coming than there was, I don't know, like 2 days ago when I was up here. So it's a slow, gradual bump, and this is more flow than we had then. So at least we got that. We got one kayak angler out there. Went past a couple other ramps, just kind of looking, and saw some other folks pre-fishing the Thursday before the Saturday tournament. I don't think I'm going to fish here in the tournament. Maybe something will change my mind, but I'm going to go have some fun, see what I can catch. So I will point out that I got my yak attack phone holder with that extension set up with the board. That's kind of where it needs to be. And I'm gonna do some dry run catch photo releases. I do have my 360 light on there. Clearly I don't need it anymore, but I wanted to make sure that it, you know, that I was able to mount it out of my way of the back cast, and you know, doing some other things in terms of getting my tackle bag up front, just preparing for catch photo release in this space right here. One of the things I need to do at the end of today is to time myself how long it takes me from when I get to the launch to where I'm driving. That period of time is important because there is a you have to meet a deadline. I think you have to be back at its Bass Pro Shops in Harrisburg, where the award ceremony is. You have to be there for roll call at the end to be, you know, to be able to win whatever you want. If you did, if you miss that deadline, you're and I'm at the northernmost part of, you know, range of where we can compete. So need to know how long it takes me to pack up and get moving. I already know the drive time, just need to be realistic in how quickly I can pack up. So I haven't run right up to the whitewater yet. I'm back in the deeper water, starting off with the crankbait. You know, that's where I left them, in deeper water with good rocky bottom substrate. It's kind of what I'm seeing here, so I'm also kind of looping around, so I give that one kayak angler that's right there. I didn't want to crowd him, so I'm actually going to the other side. I will fish that moving water, that good current on the other side. Is it just me, or did I not film the Faber Dam with all the inflatable things deflated? Because right now, I think I'm seeing them re-inflate it. Look at that. I don't think that section was, I think it was all down. Maybe this is just part of their fall maintenance. They inflate it and deflate it. I tell you, with all this side open, it's gonna push more of the current over here. So let's go catch some fish over here. Threw the crankbait a while. Maybe they're not looking for craw, maybe they want that bait fish profile. It's got a gold 1/2 ounce jackhammer. I'm gonna throw that right into the white water to see what happens. One of the rules that I have for fishing places like this, these blowhead dams, although this one isn't quite the risk of hydraulic entrapment because it is down, but lowhead dams, if I snag, you know, in there, I don't go in after it because the hydraulics can absolutely kill you. Alright, I went to dead stick. The 5-inch sets a jerk shaft in the place I've been throwing power fishing presentations, and got this very large fish to hit. Very large fish indeed. I had been running things, I mean, I threw the crankbait in there, threw the jackhammer in there, and as soon as I dead stick, this monstrous fish hits. Let's get a measurement. I'm gonna go ahead and do my regular, you know, catch photo release type deal, but good golly, that's a big one. Hi, what have you had for breakfast? Everything. Yeah, I might be able to get this fish to go 21 inches. Beautiful. All right, so I was able to get this fish to go 21 inches on the measuring board. Very nice fish that doesn't fit in the frame. Wow, what a great catch. I weighed it as well. I put it on the boga, and you would think a 21-inch fish should go 5, right? No, it was 4 pound 11 ounce, 21 inches. So people throw around, oh, caught a 5 pounder. No, you didn't measure it. People that measure it, like, usually unless it's abnormally fat, and for sure in the springtime weights, these fish can get up there. And in winter sometimes, if they've been chewing real good. But this is fall, and they got the fall feed on. And man, this 21-incher is not quite 5 pounds. I think it usually takes 21 and a half, 22 to hit that. All right, let's get a real pretty dome release. All right, 21 inches, 4 pound, 11 ounces. Let's let her go. So the content creator in me sort of fights the tournament angler in me in many ways. Like, if I'd have caught that in a tournament, yeah, it would have been worth one of the $1,000 an hour. Unless someone else got a 21 or better that particular hour, that would have been a $1,000 check, I believe. It's not a given, but highly likely. But getting back onto the fish that are up there, I don't think that fish was probably alone. That fish ignored a lot of power fishing presentations, which is interesting to me. In a tournament, filming, taking pictures other than the ones on the board, all of it takes away from your productive time while you're fishing. In fact, I had an interesting quote from my friend Eric up in Illinois. He commented on one of my videos, and my reply to him was, I absolutely agree. Let me see if I can find that comment. All right, my buddy Eric says, I suspect one of the reasons a lot of kayak bass anglers miss tournament paychecks is that they're too focused on making videos versus winning the tournament. While it'd be nice to have everything line up, we only have so much time and focus, and the main focus should be on securing the dub. The only electronics a tournament angler should be concerned about is their camera phone, lens clean, battery charge. The rest is noise on tournament day. Not picking on you here, but a tip for bass anglers, kayak bass anglers in general. And you know, I had a quick reply to that, which was, I totally agree. And then a longer reply that basically said, yeah, there's a lot of things that I do content creation wise that really hurt my fishing success. It takes you away from the actual activity to produce the content. I agree, and for that reason, much as the content creator in me says, man, what a missed opportunity, especially if I catch like personal best or something. I don't know. I'm not going to film during the tournament hours. Can you tell I'm not good with that? But at the same time, I think it's the right move. So, all that being said, and today is a content creation day, I'm thinking I don't want to show my hand to these fish that are up here if this is one of the places I'll fish. I might hit multiple places, and it's weird for me to come up here and just say, all right, let me just catch one. Now, I think I'm gonna move downstream. I know what to do up there, you know, in those eddies, in that moving water. I think I might go find some you know, plan B, C in this pool, see what I can get into. Let's see if I get a little more confidence in the 7-inch Nessie here. Just gonna kind of strain some of this water out here that is, it's moving water, but it's not moving real fast. I always like these tops of the grass islands here. I can cast a long way. I got this Rain Shadow Revelation. It is a heavy moderate. That moderate lets me launch the heck out of it, which is very helpful. Well, the Nessie has been useful in showing me where at least a small concentration of fish are, but I have not. I had one or two, I say hit it, but they messed with it. But I think I'm gonna stand up and sight fish. Like I can see something over there. I can see things better if I go upright. But I'm gonna stand up and cast basically isolated boulders out here in the middle of this. Found some wood. So standing up and looking and casting, and I can tell you there's still a lot of areas that they are not, like big areas of just no fish, and you know, places that I would have either caught them or spooked them, nothing. That's a good fish. Oh yeah, very good fish. Isolated boulder. Threw the scented jerk shad on them, and sight fishing for individual little spots, and throwing the scented jerk shad on them, really a little bit above them. Let's get a better look at this guy. We're gonna go over, get another measurement. I mean, that's 18 anyway. Realize that's not centered. Turn up the volume. Turn up the volume. Okay. Got some good photos. We'll get this 18.5-incher back in the water. We're learning a little bit more each time we catch them. Hanging out under the boat. Oh, there he goes. So something I just need to make sure on. I am emailing the tournament director, Aaron Fetterman, sending him a picture that basically shows me using two hands to manipulate the fish and get the most length out of it. I need to know, am I allowed to use two hands on the fish in this particular tournament? I got the green light for Kayak Adventure Series. It didn't violate any other rules. I just need to make sure. And these are the kind of things that, you know, you want to find out ahead of time. You know, maybe you do something that's unconventional. Maybe you're using an unconventional launch that you know is public, but there's a gray area. Ask the tournament director beforehand rather than find out afterwards that you've been disqualified for doing something that somebody sees you do and says, I don't like him doing that because he won. which is usually the case, or did better than me. Find out ahead of time, that way when that petition comes to the tournament director, they say, no, Jeff already asked and I gave him the green light, so too bad that you didn't think of it as well. It's usually what it amounts to. All right, so I'm investigating a lot of depth, like really nice depth, and it's super clear and I'm not seeing a single fish. And part of me thinks, yeah, this time of year they push up to the moving water where all the bait fish are. But no, like I did get the 18.5 down here, but I bet you a good number of them winter here. As far as tournament prep, I don't think I'm going to be fishing any of this, if I can help it, this deep water. That's still, I think I want to just stay on moving water. And I think a lot of people are going to be throwing power fishing presentations on it, which I'm going to. I mean, I'm going to put some crankbaits and jackhammers and 7-inch center jerk shad, and I'll put some big stuff in there at the right times. And I think that's early in the day. But I think by the time the sun gets up, I think finesse is it in those spots. It's just hard for me to not, it's hard for me to turn off the, hey, I want to explore and figure out something new. 2 days out from a tournament, I should really just go get practice on what I'm going to do, which is to find, you know, a dam, a big ledge, something with current that's linear, and just get proficient at catching them that way. Because I think that's how it's going to go down. You know, there's a concentration of them here. I caught one about this size on the way down. I looked for followers, and surprisingly there were none. Sometimes when you're catching the small fish, the big fish will kind of fill in behind it and they'll show themselves, but that kind of didn't happen there. So you know that voice in the back of your head that tells you, hey, you should really tie this bait on, and you're like, yeah, but the tackle box is way up there, and yeah, maybe it's probably a really good idea. Then you ignore it. I'm not going to ignore it this time. I have seen a lot of deep water, deep rocky water, and I think I'll see more as I head back up towards the dam. The crankbait that I have tied on, I've seen it basically with this medium diver bill in the middle of the water column a lot, and I really I want it to grind. It's got to grind. I don't have to use my swim cranks to grind it, so I'm going to dig out a deeper diver. That wasn't on the deep dive crank, but I saw a good opportunity for the center jerk shad and some current. Yep. Just a gravel bar sweep that had real pretty looking current on it, and this one said, yeah, I'll play. All right, wind's coming in. You got a shallow area up there that leads to this little gravel island, and that fish was right on this current seam from it sweeping out this way, right in here. Cranking with a deep diver. Good looking water. Nothing yet. I'm gonna keep inching my way up with the torpedo going into this wind, and just fan cast. Go right, left, middle, 45 up to the right, 45 up to the left, and repeat. And, I figure I'm going to strain water pretty good that way and hopefully intercept. If I catch one, I'm just going to assume there's others in that area and that I need to drop a waypoint on there, because that may become a plan B spot if I fish this dam up here. We'll see. But you know, it's when you find something that's good right before a tournament and you want to leave it alone, find something else that's also good nearby. And the only way I've been able to get them to eat, get good fish to eat last however many days I've been up here earlier in the week, deep diving crankbait. Well, not even deep diving, but just crankbait in the deeper water. And I think getting down a little deeper is a smart move. Actually made some new plug knockers. These ones are made with, I think it's the, is that the 1.5 ounces? Yeah, 1.5 walking weight, and I just molded the swivel into it. So 1.5 ounces. Let's get directly over this snag crankbait. Let it come down on there and smash into it. Yeah, that's going to be a harder one to get. I can see what it's on. It's a big old branch down there. And what's nice about it, I painted it chartreuse, so I really know it's easy to see, hey, where is it? So it's easier to center over. Okay. Yep, there's a whole lot of wood down there. I also made the plug knocker so that you don't have to clip it. You don't have to actually close the snap, because it's kind of just pushed against the back side of it. Let me show you what it looks like. It's easier to snap on, and you don't have to. If you ever get into making these, this is just some progression in how I've designed it. I don't know if that's showing or not. Let me dangle it down. You'll see that the wire is not tucked in. It's just pushing against it, and that just makes it so it clips on real quick. If I lose it, you know, man, they're just so easy to make a ton of. Got one on the crank here. Not with size yet. Oh, there's a big one with it, and it is a big one. I almost don't care about catching this as much as marking where we are. It is a big one. Look at that. Yeah, there was another one. Pull the phone out. Drop away from it quickly. Saving the waypoint for this nice fish. We'll get a measurement here in a second. Deep crank, done. Alright, we'll get a measurement, see things out of the way. Phone in position. I need to get my rag. Oh, I totally need to get the no stink towel. Right. Safety shot has them at 19 3/4. I'm gonna see if I can go 20. I spoke too soon. I called him at 20 before I knew, but I knew he's a good fish. I mean, it's an Excellent fish. All right, you relax a minute. I'm gonna set up two-handed deal. Okay. Not lost in there. Turn up the volume. Yep. That one for sure is my second 20 of the day. I wish I was doing this like a week ago and not 2 days before the tournament, because I'm beating up on some fish that could help me. But I'm finding some deep water crank spots, and for sure I found a good whitewater spot where I can finesse, where there are some big fish. So, you know, I'm learning. Hopefully I'm not sore lipping too many of these big Susquehanna smallmouth. Alright, that one hit on this. It's a Bill Lewis deep diving crankbait that I colored myself. Kind of brown up front, green in the back, and the bottom, the belly sort of tan. And I got the Ryugi quad hook. That helps me keep them buttoned. As does the Rain Shadow Judge. Such a great crankbait rod for sure. Good for a lot of different applications. Should I stop? I think I'm gonna stop. I think there's a lot more water that I would like to check out and learn here, but I feel like I'm beating up on them. I'd like to find one or two more deep crank spots, but for sure, I just got a real nice one. There were two fish there. One that I hooked and another one with it that was similar size class. I don't think it was quite as big. I think the one I got at 20, there's probably one that was in that, you know, 19, maybe 19 1/4 inch range, it looks like. It's not always the case. Usually, you get the smaller of the two. So before I time my exit procedure, I am going to cruise around and just visually identify, without fishing, more deep spots that look like good crankbait target areas. So all I'm doing is drawing a grid, going back and forth on this pool, and looking and seeing what's out here, where are the grass beds, where are the logs. I'm looking for, it's a decent sized boulder, but I don't think it had the right current on it. And I'm looking for that, I'm mostly looking for that deep boulder. This isn't that deep. This is still 5.5 feet, but I need it deeper with bigger boulders and current. You get those three together, I got that 20. All right, I've made it back up to the dam, and yeah, they totally reinflated 3 sections of the Faber Dam on the side that I launched, which I guess pushes more water to the other side. It's interesting. Let's take a look. Looks like they're doing some maintenance on it, checking stuff out. 3 sections. Pretty cool. Keep doing this. I'm doing it right here because I'm going through a little riffle, but go upright and just look around. When I get higher, I can see those deeper boulders. It just marks one up there, which is kind of closer to the dam, but going upright and zooming over to things that interest me is, you know, letting the current carry me. Scanning. That's a deeper lane. This is all really swift, and most of it like kneecap deep for me. Here's a pocket that's like waist deep, and is that a huge deal? It might be. If they're in a somewhat aggressive, like wanting to be. Yeah, this is it. What causes it? The boulder? Yeah. Shallow, 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 shallow. A little deeper. It's not the deep boulder I was looking for earlier, but you know, it's a little calm pocket here. Alright. If you look, I am racking up the waypoints, and hopefully they're gonna help me out in 2 days. We'll see. Alright, so it's been about 2.5 hours that I've been cruising around, dropping waypoints and not fishing, and I hope it pays off. One thing I'm going to do, because it's 2:34 right now, I'm going to do one more loop around this area. I have not really seen it. There's some good depth here, but by 3 o'clock, what I want to do is to get to the ramp, time myself getting everything together, and I'm going to assume that there's going to be trailers up on that ramp, and I'm going to have to use a landing gear, which is fine. But time my breakdown and actually run all the way to the Bass Pro Shops in Harrisburg and see, hey, from 3 o'clock and I got to be there by 5. Am I good, or do I have to actually get off the water a little bit earlier? This is good deep water. Finding more stuff still. Interesting. But yeah, I'm treating this like it is tournament day, and I'm still fishing even though I'm not. I'm gonna test myself, time myself. Can I get it done, or do I need to actually get out of here and get to the ramp a little bit earlier than everyone else? We'll see. All right, as I guessed, I wasn't able to back down the ramp because it was occupied, but it's 3:11. I need to punch in the address for Bass Pro. So that took 15 minutes. So from when I hit the shore, took everything off of the kayak, put it up on the wall there, went around and rolled it up, you know, put the straps on, put everything away. It was 15 minutes. On the tournament day, I need to be here no later than 5, and I have to actually check in. That 45 minutes though is still important, because I might need it at the ramp to make sure, you know, to check standings, to check and make sure that like the fish photos that I've uploaded are accepted. If not, putting in alternatives. All of that will need to happen before 4 p.m. So, you know, just because I can get here, you know, in an hour and 5 minutes doesn't mean that, you know, I want to cut it close. Practicing the drive, I think, is pretty critical. So I've done that, and I think I'm gonna head home and rig up some more baits. Get everything ready, get everything squared away with the boat, clean it up, clean out the bed of the truck so I can do a quick transfer, and yeah, I think I'm ready for this tournament. So I'm gonna record some of our conversation, just like fold it into the video. because I think the video that I shot the other day, I'm gonna roll it into tomorrow, but I'm not actually gonna film on the water. Do you film your tournaments?
I do, but I don't. So when I'm filming in a tournament, I don't pressure myself to worry about making sure I capture this or capture that.
Do you talk to the camera?
No. Maybe if I catch a good fish, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, this is a big difference maker, blah, 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 blah. But typically not.
In Wisconsin, I told myself I wasn't gonna engage that much with the camera, and I totally did. I can't turn it off. So I think the only way to fix that is to just not bring my camera out there.
Just ignore it. And then whatever you don't, whatever.
Do you know how hard that is?
I mean, I get it.
All right, it's night before the tournament, and I'm driving up there. It's 9:49 p.m. in my ETA at the ramp. I'm gonna ramp camp. Yeah, my ETA is 11:20 p.m. So I will get up there. Look at the identifier that they actually in just about 10 minutes are gonna post the identifier. I'll write all that out, put it on my board. I'll set up a couple things. For sure I'll put the light, put the VisiCarbon up on the kayak, and I don't know what else I'm gonna set up. But basically, I'm gonna get in the rooftop tent, get some sleep right there at the ramp. So I guess I'm getting as much of this taken care of tonight as I can. Unstrapping everything. I got the landing gear ready. Everything short of just rolling the boat down there and getting it in the water, but everything else will be quick and easy because I'm not a morning person. It's good to get as much done at a time. Alright, I'm up in here. I think it is written in the Art of War that you should arrive to the battlefield before your opponent. I don't know. I think it was 117 other anglers, my opponent, or is it the fish? The fish are already here. My fellow competitors are not. There is, however, a homeless person sleeping in a car, and I feel bad that my filming, my jabbering has disturbed that person. They moved to the other side of the parking lot. Oh well. Let's get all these little vents closed. Keep all this heat in here. Yeah. I'm bundled up. I'll stay warm tonight. Alright. That's my wake up time. That is when we can leave, we can launch. That's when we can start fishing, and then that's when we stop fishing. So I have alarms set. I do have my volume on, correct? Yeah, all the way up. Alright, I'm bundled up a bunch of different ways. Got my gloves on, got my neck gaiter on, got a really good sleeping bag, and not at all in the mental sort of space to actually sleep. I'm not cold though. It is cold out, but I'm not cold. I will try to sleep. Yeah, it's 2:54 a.m. I've been awake roughly half an hour. I was asleep, fully asleep, and awakened by police sirens. Just briefly, just a burst of it. And I unzipped here to re-zip that to look out, see if I needed to speak to an officer. There's 3 SUVs, and they're leaving. So I don't know. Came and checked out the vehicle, did whatever, and kept moving. Have not been able to fall back asleep. All right, it's 5:15. My alarm was set for well, I got another half hour, but I'm up. My breakfast was gonna be cold Cheerios, but I don't know. It's got to be a truck stop around here, or you can get something hot. It would be nice. I got half an hour, so I'm gonna start. I'm gonna get down and get this day moving. All right, I decided against the run to. It was gonna be Sheets, but I don't know. I just kind of like my position here. I really don't know how many people are gonna end up at this launch, and this is where I practiced taking out the other day. I don't know. So I'll drink my cold Red Bull. Go ahead and unload this boat. All right, I'm out here. I launched right at 6:30 and got out here. It's 4 minutes till 7 when I can start casting. I'm in a good spot. I'm not right on top of where I got the 21, but it's right there. It's not casting distance, but I can see it. This is where I stopped filming. I feel like I have some separation anxiety from using the camera. It's probably really good for me to just fish. But yeah, I'll take the photos on the board, and that's gonna be how I show you what I caught, and then we'll cut to driving back down, and then see how things shake out. Here goes. $18.75. All right, I'm gonna be brief because I got folks out here I'd like to be social with. But 6 scoreable fish, that is a grinder. But I got 3 that I think could be candidate for that big bass, hourly big bass. That 19.75 I think is. I also think the 19 has a chance because early morning. I don't know. It's been a slow start. The morning bite has been tough. So I don't know. We'll see. It was frustrating to not be able to get the crankbait bite that I had going last week. Nothing. Every single fish was on the scavenger rig, the 5-inch scented jerk shad. Totally dead sticked. The 19 and the 19.75. I know the 19.75. That thing had been sitting there for 10 minutes, and it was just setting a trap instead of enticing a bite. Both the 19 and the 19.75 were in the same spot. So I recognized that was a big fish eat spot and went back to it late in the day and just camped on it. And got those 2 fish and one other. So, all right, let's see how this shakes out.
Another national event going on as well. In conjunction with this, it was far away, but when you're talking about kayak fishing, it's a tight-knit community. So I really appreciate everybody coming in and showing up today. Native, as this is their 3rd year here on this stretch of the Susquehanna, they keep coming back because everybody keeps coming back. Hour 7. I'm excited that this guy came out to fish. He doesn't do a whole lot of tournaments, but I've seen him around lately. So he's getting at 19 3/4 inches, hour 7, taking home a $250 Crush City / Rapala gift certificate and $1,000. Mr. Jeff Liver.